Imagine a monster, not one hidden in shadows, but one walking among us, smiling, charming, utterly disarming. A monster whose true face was hidden behind a mask of normalcy. A dazzling charisma that lured his victims to their doom. Today, we delve into the chilling story of Ted Bundy, a man whose intelligence was matched only by his depravity. On the surface, Ted Bundy was everything society admired. Handsome, intelligent, articulate. He studied psychology, law, even worked at a suicide crisis hotline. To his friends, his girlfriends, his colleagues, he was a bright, promising young man. But beneath that polished veneer pulsed a darkness, an insatiable hunger for control and violence. This seemingly normal life was a meticulously crafted deception. When did the switch flip? When did the ambitious young man become a calculating predator? The exact catalyst remains debated. But by the early 1970s, Ted Bundy had begun to unleash his monstrous desires. His method was insidious, feigning injury, impersonating authority figures, using his undeniable charm to draw women in. He targeted beautiful, intelligent women, often with long hair parted in the middle, a disturbing similarity to his college girlfriend, Stephanie Brooks. Was it rejection that fueled his rage? Or merely an excuse for what lay within him? His reign of terror began in the Pacific Northwest. Young women vanishing without a trace from college campuses, ski resorts, public parks. He left no witnesses, no obvious forensic evidence. His intelligence wasn't just in his ability to deceive, but in his meticulous planning and execution. He would often return to the scenes of his crimes, not out of remorse, but to engage in further unspeakable acts, demonstrating a profound level of depravity. Then, the brazen daylight abductions. In July 1974, at Lake Sammamish State Park, 2 women vanished within hours of each other. Bundy, with his arm in a sling, asking for help with a sailboat, was seen by witnesses. They remembered his charm, his polite demeanor, but no one connected him to the disappearances until much later. This was the terrifying efficiency of Ted Bundy. It was his distinct Volkswagen Beetle that eventually led to his first arrest in Utah in 1975 for aggravated kidnapping. But even behind bars, Bundy's intellect and cunning shone through. He decided to act as his own lawyer. This wasn't just a legal strategy, it was an opportunity. During a court recess in June 1977, while in Aspen, Colorado, he was granted access to the law library. He saw his chance. He jumped out of a second-story window, vanishing into the mountains for days before being recaptured. But his escape attempts weren't over. 7 months later, he escaped again, this time from a jail in Glenwood Springs, Colorado, by sawing a hole in his cell ceiling. For weeks, he was a ghost, a nightmare on the loose, making his way across the country to Florida. This wasn't luck. It was pure, cold calculation and an unwavering belief in his own superiority. In Florida, his rampage reached its most brutal and chaotic peak. The Chi Omega sorority house at Florida State University became the scene of unspeakable horror in January 1978. 4 women were attacked, 2 fatally, in a single night. Days later, he abducted and murdered 12-year-old Kimberly Leach. The hunt was on, but Bundy, now driving a stolen van, was finally apprehended by a patrol officer in Pensacola. His luck and his escapes had finally run out. He was brought to trial, and the world watched in morbid fascination. The Florida trials were a spectacle. Bundy, still playing the role of his own attorney, captivated the courtroom. He cross-examined witnesses, even his own girlfriend, Carol Ann Boone, whom he later married during the trial in a bizarre legal loophole. His charisma was undeniable, even as he stood accused of unimaginable crimes. He was charming, articulate, and utterly devoid of remorse. He toyed with the prosecution, seemingly enjoying the spotlight. But beneath the showmanship was a calculating mind, desperate to avoid accountability. The evidence mounted, bite marks matching his teeth, eyewitness accounts, and the sheer audacity of his crimes. Despite his performance, the juries saw through the facade. He was convicted of multiple murders and sentenced to death. In the days leading up to his execution in January 1989, Bundy began to confess, not out of repentance, but perhaps as a final act of control, a morbid desire to shape his own legacy. He admitted to dozens of murders across several states, though the true number remains unknown, estimated to be far higher than the 30 he was officially charged with. He offered chilling insights into his methods, his urges, and the profound emptiness within him. On January 24, 1989, Ted Bundy was executed in Florida's electric chair. Outside the prison, crowds cheered, a collective sigh of relief for a nightmare finally brought to an end. Ted Bundy remains a chilling testament to the banality of evil. His story is a stark reminder that monsters don't always lurk in the dark. Sometimes, they wear the most convincing masks. His intelligence, his charisma, his ability to manipulate, these were not tools for good, but instruments of unimaginable cruelty. He wasn't just a killer. He was a master of deception, a sociopath who thrived on the trust he so easily garnered. His legacy is a warning that true evil can hide in plain sight, and the most dangerous predators are often those who seem the least threatening. What are your thoughts on Ted Bundy's psychology? Let us know in the comments below. If you found this video engaging, please like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into true crime and unsettling stories.